You're listening to Opus Dei Requiem, a 7th C First Edition actual play by Hallowed Haven Studios.
Hi, I'm Bookkeeper, and I'll be playing the Reverend Dr. Alexander Hutcheson, the Avalon Scholar.
I'm Clara Allison, and I'm playing Lucia di Felici, the Vodace Straga.
Hi, I'm Glamour. I'm playing Viviana Lucani, the Vodace courtesan and daughter of Sophia.
Hi, I'm Overthinker. I'm playing Alonso Hernandez, the Castellan swordsman on a quest.
Hello, my name is Typhoon, and I will be playing Heinrich von Groth, the Ison war veteran.
And I'm Bloodied Porcelain. I'll be your storyteller for the evening.
After concluding our investigation, we returned to the university to check on Lucia. When Viviana touched her, she woke from her unnatural slumber. Then the foolish girl immediately tried to play the same music again. We were all furious at her for her recklessness. After much scolding, she promised not to play it again. However, I'm not sure that I believed her. Then she used her sorcery again and saw a golden thread surrounding us that was in some way connected to the mysterious amulet that Alonso wears. Lucia, with her usual lack of restraint, tried to take it from him by force, of course failing. Afterwards, we traveled to the dungeon to investigate Henri's escape. Viviana used her feminine wiles to distract the guard, while the rest of us investigated his cell. We discovered a hidden knife and a bag of rose petals that smelled faintly of blood. We suspected that the rose petals were used with Montaigne's sorcery to whisk Henri out of his cell and thus facilitating his escape. I was shocked by the poor security in allowing a prisoner to have a hidden blade and that there were no records of who had sent the flowers or how he had received them. Montaigne.
You have arrived, settled yourself into the research room that Alexander usually entertains you all in, and have the ability to sit and have supper before you all call it a night. Is there anything anyone wants to talk about before we do that?
I did find something while we were in that room. Alonso produces the knife, puts it on the table. I remember it being very sort of intricate and expensive looking.
Yes.
Not the sort of thing one would use to defend oneself in a dungeon, especially when one is locked in a cell the whole time. If I were to hazard a guess based on what we have heard, I suspect this is how teleportations were done.
And Heinrich will pick up the knife and start examining it. Is there anything remarkable about it? Does it happen to have 4 roses or anything on the hilt?
Nothing so blatant. It's just really well made, and is clearly like something that you would expect someone of like status and wealth to maybe carry around. You know what I mean? This is not something you would find on just anybody.
Quite curious that the boy was able to get this knife smuggled into the prison as well. Very lax security.
Lucia will pull... Oh.
That cell had nearly as many hiding places as his room did.
It seems suspicious that...
Hidden compartments, knives, flowers. Yes, there was obviously one of the guards was taking a bribe from someone.
Lucia will pull the sachet of roses out of her bodice and toss it onto the table too.
What condition are the roses in?
Dried?
Yeah, they're old. They haven't gone to like mold or anything like that, but they're like wilting pretty rapidly. Or they have wilted pretty rapidly. They're mostly just dry and have dried blood on them.
Yeah, I assume they're potpourri at this point.
You have to give them props for The aesthetic choice.
I would pose a theory. Again, based on the little we heard from Raoul, I would suspect that the roses opened a portal through which the knife could move, that the knife be a better, anchor?
My understanding of Porte is that you just need the blooded item, yes? And masters are the only ones who can truly pass through as people.
But if he was sending letters?
Henri was never a sorcerer.
So far as you know.
It would be quite the secret to keep, especially as a noble with many siblings.
Perhaps, but the Grand Dame was surprised to discover your existence.
That is different. The Grand Dame did not know I existed because I was not supposed to be here. She knew I existed, and she knew I was a sorceress. Likely.
Yeah, I think we can safely assume how he was removed from the dungeon was through sorcery, but the more interesting question is why.
And by whom?
I'm assuming that it was by a member of the Knights. They're the only ones that I can think of who would have the means and the desire to remove him from jail. I mean, I suppose it's possible that some family member of his could have done it, but based on her reputation, I have a hard time believing that one of Henri's siblings would be willing to cross their mother in such a way.
If the Knights of the Rose and Cross are known for one thing, it is brazenness, yes?
True.
But why would they want to remove him from prison? I mean, eventually his mother would have forgiven him enough to allow him to depart the jail. He might have been, shall we say, sent to visit relatives in the country for a long time, but she would have let him out eventually. So why cause all of the stir and of breaking him out of what's supposed to be the most secure prison in the country?
Perhaps there was something he needed to accomplish.
Perhaps. Perhaps she would only release him if he was penitent, and he was not.
Based on what she told us, I don't believe she ever visited or spoke to him while he was in the dungeon either.
Perhaps he had someone coming who wanted to see him and he couldn't be in the dungeon for that.
Of course. That is entirely possible. Right, everyone?
Yeah.
Well, don't all agree at once.
I'm skeptical that some sorcerer was so moved by the tales of his love that he decided to cross the Emperor by staging a jailbreak from his prison.
I think it has to be more than that. It is certainly possible that one of the things on his mind and one of the things that motivated him to escape was his hope of seeing you.
In the nearly fortnight that we have been here, I have heard nothing but Montanians talk about how they are love stories and they're so obsessed with love stories. And I do not think that this is true anymore. I think they are faking it.
I think they're faking a lot.
Let us take a step
Isn't
back for a
everyone?
moment. and consider what we know. What we know is that this cell had a number of things hidden in it, some of which could be used for portal entry. We know he was removed from that cell. We know he was removed some time ago, and no one was willing to tell Le Grand Dame that he was gone. So what he's been doing, we don't know, because he's had some indeterminate amount of time to do it.
So instead, we focus on the who helped him.
Yes.
Yes, Alonso?
Let me preface my next statement by saying that I acknowledge it is deeply strange and far from possibility. But in my time here, I have observed to a point that fear creates obedience within the population, especially among the musketeers and, as we know, who also attended him, members of the Lightning Guard. Who is the most powerful sorcerer in Charus, in Montaigne?
L'Empereur?
Who commands the Lightning Guard? Again, I acknowledge in fullness that this is a shot well into the dark. But all of this would be easy if Henri was removed by l'Empereur himself.
You think l'Empereur stole Henri, the son of his best friend, who was put in the dungeon for speaking ill of him?
I am simply doing as the Reverend Doctor has suggested, taking a step back, looking at the whole board. These pieces are aligned to make a thing happen. I cannot say why, but technically it would be possible. Easy, even.
What do you mean you can't?
I have an alternate theory.
Please.
I believe that the knights were the ones that were responsible for removing him from the prison. We know that he was a member or possibly an initiate who could have become a member soon, and they probably needed him for something, but I don't know what. This is speculation, but remember the signet ring, Alonso, that you found in the in Henri's chambers from the Cissé du Cissé. This certainly is an unusual item to find, given the animosity between the two houses. My belief is that a member of the Cissé du Cissé family is possibly a member of the Knights and removed him on behalf of the organization. Now, it's a large family, but we do know one member of the house who, despite being a wealthy and eligible man who does not appear to be married, and we know was in the same location that Henri had the address of, and that is Raoul Cissé du Cissé.
It always comes back to a drunk somehow.
But as I said, we know that both he and Henri were we know Henri had an invitation to the chateau where Viviana is currently staying, and that it is a gathering place for people with certain anti-authoritarian sentiments. And we know that Raoul has been seen frequently. Been seen frequenting the place as well. Certainly suggests a connection. But
Far more
as
likely.
I said, this is speculation. I don't have any evidence to support this.
Then
Right.
are these our three paths forward?
It would seem so. We should ask Madame du Châtelain about any potential connections to Henri. We should ask Raoul about the signet ring that we'd have discovered in Henri's chambers, and we should see if we can get in touch with the Knights of Rosencross.
It would be my pleasure. I have heard a great deal about them and would love to meet one in person.
Yes, they seem... Well, I believe the word brazen was used earlier.
Yeah, indeed.
It is part of my concern. Members of the Knights of the Rosencross do not, in my experience, hide their membership.
Unless perhaps there's bad blood between the knights and the musketeers, and your mother happens to be the woman who ran them.
The
Also-
chapter master of the Knights of the Rosencross is also a personal friend of l'Empereur. I don't think they have that much in the way of political concerns.
But it is Montaigne. Everyone is wearing a mask.
The Cicero ring you saw, was it a man's or a woman's?
You tell
How
me.
big was it?
I put it on the table.
What is placed on the table is clearly a ring meant for a man's hand. It's
So I
not
would say-
the fanciest signet ring any of you have ever seen, especially those of you who come from money. But it's well made.
I would say this would appear to be sized for the finger of a man, or perhaps a very large woman.
If Raoul is indeed involved, perhaps a promise of support.
Perhaps a way to have access to noble privilege without giving his own name away.
Right. There are far too many perhapses and too few we knows. Everyone go home. Get some rest. Tomorrow, we will seek out the local chapter house of the Knights of the Rosencross. They don't hide themselves, and then perhaps we may pay a call on Raoul Cissé de Cissé.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Echo.
Bon
All
soirée.
right. Should I take it that you all are going to call it for the night and retire to your respective abodes?
Yes.
Where is Alonso going for the night?
Now, I do have two options.
And those would be?
First, I think he had discussed with Heinrich, potentially. Did we actually talk about that, or did I make it up?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Sir, the offer of a room, does that yet stand?
Yes, of course. I have space for one more. It's not an issue. However,
grateful.
you may want to consider staying closer to your charge in case some danger arises. But if you need a place to stay, you're more than welcome.
I look over at Lucia. I know where Chateau de Châtelain is. How far is how long would it take to get from one to the other? Game Master, I guess.
It would take a bit. Heinrich lives in a much nicer part of town. The Chateau de Chatelaine isn't in a bad part of town, but it's certainly more upper middle class than noble.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very different neighborhood. But you also know, having been to Chateau de Chatelaine, that there aren't very many places that you can stay around there that isn't just the chateau. It is a firmly residential place.
Well, there's a chance that that the lady of the house will kick me out in about, well, the evening. So this may be solved quickly.
Should that occur, we will, seek me out at Lord Heinrich's residence, and we will find an inn that we can secure.
Yes, Lucia, you and I must make ourselves different before Madame du Châtelaine.
Oh, I'm very good at apologizing.
Perhaps we should all head there together, and the two of you can have your discussion with the lady of the house. And if the two of you are not permitted to continue to stay there, we can go to my residence next.
Do you think that's likely? To Viviana?
Well, I am very good at smoothing things over. I do not think it is likely, but it never hurts to have a backup plan.
Very well. Let us go. Good
All
night,
right.
Reverend Doctor.
Bonsoir, everyone.
Quick question before you go. Is Alonso taking the letters with him so that he can work on them?
Sure.
Okay.
In fact, he packs the two things he put on the table and then adds the letters to like a satchel.
Okay.
Perhaps we should bring all of everything of importance. We don't know who may try and enter at some point. And, Doctor, I admit that I am somewhat worried of leaving you here by yourself. If those three swordsmen burst into the room while you were sleeping, I fear you would be in grave danger.
Briefly, and in any event, all of us scattering to new locations in the dead of night would do nothing but raise further alarms, including among people at the university who would expect to see me here in the morning. So, I appreciate your forward thinking, but I shall remain here.
Very well.
If you say so.
Keep your pistols close at hand.
All right. Leaving Alexander to the quiet of his rooms, probably a good book. The rest of you pack up and head out for the evening. It does not take an overly long time to get to the chateau, where I am assuming Viviana and Lucia will head inside while the boys loiter outside.
Yes, if there is a servant that just happens to be nearby, she will immediately stop them and ask if the madam of the house is in.
She is, yes.
Okay.
She was asking about you.
Okay, I must speak to her.
Yes, ma'am. And they turn and lead you and Lucia inside. You are led into a small, what you realize is like a small private dining room. It's much more simple than the larger room that you that Viviana that you went into the first night you were here. This is it's a little bit more cozy, a little bit more simple in the way that it is decorated and things like that. And she is there at at the table, there is like the remnants of what looks like was her dinner, but it's been pushed to like one end of the table, and she's at the other end, reading over a ledger.
Pardon me, madame.
Yes. Good evening. And who is your companion?
This is Giulietta La Traviata. But before proper introductions are made, I'm afraid that I owe you something.
And that would be?
An apology. I have brought a strange person into your home without first asking you and gaining your permission, and for that I apologize. You know, I have my reasons for doing things that at times seem strange, but our duty is no reason to ignore the hospitality of the people around us, and for that I am truly sorry. Should you require anything to show my proper deference in this endeavor, I will offer it.
She kind of tilts her head at that and kind of gives you an apprising look, and then looks over at Lucia. And Miss Traviata is under your protection?
Yes.
And in requirement of a safe place to lay her head?
Yes, she is.
Then she is welcome. And I appreciate you taking the time to apologize.
Of course. I hope I do not have to apologize again too soon in the future.
She kind of gives a little smile. As a general rule of thumb, I tend to trust the judgment of those who come, but at least do your best to keep me apprised of the comings and goings when you can. Leave word with my man, and he will make sure that I am aware.
Of course.
Is there anything else that you needed?
Not at the moment. Well, will you be here in the morning?
Maybe. The celebrations mean that I'm keeping strange hours lately.
Okay. In which case, I must beg pardon for I must continue to bother you. Did Henri, Raoul, Edrain ever come to one of your gatherings?
Henri Ryren?
Henri, Rain, yes.
No. I'm not entirely sure how dumb you think I am to invite the son of one of the Emperor's staunchest supporters.
Oh no, I do not. It was not a question of your intelligence. We are simply looking into matters surrounding him at the moment. It is important. A duty which has been foisted upon us, as duties sometimes are.
I see. Well, he's never been here. I would have noticed, and had whoever invited him thrown out on their ear never to be invited back, given his family ties.
Very sensible.
Lucia tugs on Viviana's arm.
Viviana will look over at her.
It would be of note that the reason that Henri was put in the dungeon in the first place was for speaking ill of the Emperor. And she whispers that to Viviana.
Viviana looks at her and says, "You can speak aloud if you wish."
I don't know who this woman is, beyond the lady of this house.
She is
You
fine.
do know it is rude to whisper in front of someone, yes?
Yes, that was the point I was making. You can speak aloud. I trust that Madame du Châtelain will not have your head cut off so long as you do not say anything too unworldly.
Lucia gives Viviana a hard look. Henri was recently imprisoned because of some things he said about the Emperor.
Is he?
If there are meetings in which other people are having similar feelings, perhaps he would attend one in disguise.
Perhaps, though it is, as a general rule, difficult to get into at least one of my parties without me knowing who you are or being introduced by someone I know personally.
Above table, I don't know if I know the information that I was going to ask about next.
What's the information?
How did Alonso get in then?
Alonso was invited by the dudes at the tavern, remember?
Oh, and that was enough?
You
All
met
right.
them. You met them.
No, I know, but like, okay.
I
Apparently
made the
that was
right
enough.
friends.
Echo. Well, never mind then. I don't know if do I know that Raoul's there?
Yes, you know that. That has come up multiple times.
Echo. Would if you do not mind, I understand that the nature of these events is also delicate. Have you seen Raoul Cissé de Cissé at any of these events?
Of course, he is a personal friend of mine.
Oh.
His invitation was from my own hand.
As a personal friend, would you describe him as a master of portée?
Yes, of course.
I have been told that masters can move themselves through space, not just small objects.
And I do not have portée, but that is what I have heard, and yes.
Interesting.
Well, thank you for allowing us to trouble you tonight, madam.
Of course, your rooms have been, your fires have been stoked and your beds have been refreshed. If there's anything that you need, you can simply ask.
Thank you.
Merci.
Viviana will curtsy to Madame de Chatelaine.
She kind of gives a small smile and a nod of her head. You don't need to curtsy.
Yes, but I fear that it is only proper that I show you respect while in your house.
Miss,
Lucia.
oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, continue.
Miss Traviata, is it?
Si.
I hope that whatever has put you in a position to require my hospitality is remedied and comes to a favorable conclusion soon.
I do as well. Lucia tries to leave the room without curtsying, and the instinct to do so takes over instead. So there's like a bob, and then like half of a curtsy, and then she starts to walk away, and then she just does it again and leaves.
Excellent. All right, you all are able to leave the dining room. Who is going to pop out and let the boys know that they can move on?
Viviana will do so.
I'll poke my head out too.
Well, it seems we shall not be thrown out.
That's
agreed.
good news.
Yes, the Madame has been very accommodating.
She also says that she's close personal friends with Raoul. Who
Interesting.
is a master of portée.
And did she say anything about Henri also?
No, it is hard to get an invitation to one of her gatherings without her being informed of who you are. If he had have had to somehow come in disguise and without her being aware of his presence.
Which is frankly a surprise that Alonso made it in.
Yet somehow he had an invitation in his possession. I wonder why. Most puzzling.
He could have entered in disguise. I suppose the next step on the ladder then would be Raoul.
That does
Perhaps.
unfortunately poke a hole in my theory, because if Henri has never been here, we haven't established that the two of them knew each other or ever met.
I believe we should question the knights first, all the same. If they are connected to Raoul, then he is the center of this entire web.
Echo.
On the morrow, then.
Yes,
We will see you tomorrow.
Rest
tomorrow
well.
at the university.
Rest well, gentlemen.
Adios.
Good night.
As we're headed back inside, Lucia has questions for Viviana.
Yeah, Viviana, I think, very much just immediately heads towards her room, tells Lucia, I will see you in a bit, but first you need to bathe.
I do.
And so, if Alonso, you're more than welcome to stay at my home. However, I expect you to be on your best behavior regarding my family and employees.
Certainly. You have children, yes?
Yes, 3 of them. However, only 2 of them are in Cherus.
I see. And how old are they? Sons, daughters?
I have 3 daughters, 18, 16, and 7.
I see. I look forward to meeting them. And will certainly be on my best behavior.
Thank you.
Do you know you are in the higher neighborhoods, yes?
Yes. Yes, not the wealthiest of neighborhoods in the city. I'm renting a modest townhome for my time in here before I can return home. But it's on the smaller side, but it has 6 bedrooms.
I see. Sounds far superior to where I have been. I had been thinking, do you remember the woman I met at the Grand Dame's party?
Which one? There were quite a few.
The prettiest one.
Yes,
Sylvia.
I recall her. Yes. She's difficult to forget.
Indeed. I am considering calling upon her.
For what purpose?
Gives him a look. For what purpose, sir?
That purpose. Well, in that case, I wish you luck.
Yes, It is strange. I am not often unconfident, but I am sure it will be fine.
Yes, she did seem quite interested in you. Perhaps, for a long-term relationship, I would be doubtful that her family would approve, but she
For a
certainly
long-term
was
relationship,
lovely.
I would have to stay in Cherus for longer. I don't suppose you would know where her chateau is located.
I've only been in the city for a little over a week. Unfortunately, I have not met most of the noblemen, much less been to their residences. So no, I have no idea.
Perhaps a letter would be more fitting. Yes, I shall attempt to locate it tomorrow, I think.
We can certainly find out. It should not be terribly difficult. Family is one of the most prominent in the city.
Indeed. And yes, that sounds excellent.
Okay. So the boys return to Heinrich's home, back at Chateau du Châtelain. Lucia is able to get herself a bath and a change of clothes. Actually, I think all of Lucia's stuff is here, isn't it? You are able to change into like night clothes.
Yes, I think Viviana takes a bath as well, just to revitalize herself. And then she prepares a basin of water.
All right. Go ahead.
As they're sitting around next to the basin, he just sort of grabs Viviana's arm and goes, Are you going to see him again?
You mean Henri?
Mm-hmm.
I will try.
And he cannot see you when you see him, right?
No, he cannot.
If it were something that you thought I did not want to know, would you tell me?
Yes.
And Lucia really gives Viviana a hard look.
Viviana looks completely serious. Unless I thought it is something that would lead to you immediately getting yourself killed, I would tell you.
Echo. Alright, you may look.
Viviana rolls her eyes slightly. And then I will expend a drama die and attempt to scry.
Make your roll.
Target number?
I will say that this is a scrying roll target number. It's target number 20. And normally if you only have descriptions, it would actually give you 2 raises, but I'm going to say it only gives you 1 raise. You only have to go up to a 25.
Okay.
Because you've seen his picture.
Oh, that is a 26.
Very good.
10.
Oh, re-roll your 10. 31. Not
Okay.
bad. But Lucia is in the room with you, yes?
Yes.
Okay. You lower your face into the water, focusing on the image of Henri that was in the portrait that you saw, and the things that you have been told about him by Lucia, the things that you have read in the few letters that she has agreed to share. And as you do so, your awareness of the world around you drops away. And you, for a moment, are left in kind of this weird middle space where everything is kind of this grayish blue, and you can feel the world kind of flowing and pulsing around you. Like you're feeling the tide going in and out almost, or waves happening around you. And then finally your vision begins to clear, and you find yourself in a room with not poor lighting, but not great lighting either. It's lit mostly by candles. There are it looks like there are windows, but the windows are all shuttered. And there are bookshelves, and you can see the young man that was in the portrait sitting at a table and reading and writing. It looks like he is in basically like either a small study or a small library.
Mm-hmm. Are there any other notable details about the room? I believe I asked this last time, but just does anything about it stand out to me now that I'm glimpsing it for the second time?
Well, this isn't the same room he was in before.
Oh.
He's in, like I said, what looks like a library this time, and before, when you saw him, he was in what looked like a bedroom.
Okay.
A very Spartan, kind of poorly appointed bedroom.
All right.
Was there anything else that you wanted to know about? Like, was there something specific you were looking for?
Question.
Yeah.
Do I have to be in like physical proximity with someone to ask if they are a hero?
That's not clear in the rules. So I'll say no. If you can see them, you can try it. You can try to tell. You can tell that Henri is a hero.
Okay. And is there... He's probably writing in Montaigne, but am I able to glimpse what he's writing?
Make me just a raw resolve check.
Okay. These have historically gone very well for me. Nope, that's a 9.
You attempt to force your perspective to move so that you can see, and fail to do so.
Okay. Viviana.
Something that might stand out to you about Henri, though, that you don't have to have a shift in perspective about, is he's not wearing the Knights of the Rosencross tabard, which you would normally expect for somebody who is a member. Instead, he is in clothes that are well below what someone of his status and station could afford. He is in kind of rough spun, basic kind of, I don't know, off-white beige, like tabard and pants. And his hair has been pulled back. He's wearing no ornamentation whatsoever, no jewelry. Everything that he is wearing is something that you would expect somebody well below his means and status to be wearing.
Interesting. Okay. If that is all that I am able to observe, then Viviana will pull her head up. Well, I was able to see him again.
And?
He seemed to be in He had moved rooms since the last time I saw him, which makes sense. He couldn't spend all of his time in a bedroom. He was not wearing the Knights of the Rose and Cross tabard, which you would expect a member to be wearing, and he was dressed like a pauper.
Lucia sort of like relaxes a little bit hearing that like he's not wearing the tabard. He could what does that mean?
Well, he may not be a member. He certainly isn't dressing or acting like one if he is. He could simply be a contact, a friend of the organization.
What was he doing?
He was writing.
Writing what?
I could not quite glimpse what he was writing, but he seemed very intent on it.
I don't know what to do with that, only that he's alive and healthy, it seems. No indication as to where he is, though, not even in Montaigne.
No, it was a library or study-like room.
There would be no way. Richly appointed, poorly appointed?
Neither. It's a very I want to say almost very utilitarian appointment. Like everything that you would need in a small library is there, but it's not overly embellished in any way.
It was not incredibly ostentatious, not very fancy. It was a room where he had the necessities.
Also worth noting, just based on the time period, books are not a common thing for everybody to own, so that there is a room full of them suggests that there's probably money involved. They're not worried about how, like, richly furnished everything is. Books are expensive.
That could be a monastery. Lucia lays back on the ground. It brings me some comfort to know that he is well. I just wish I could see him.
I know.
Viviana?
Yes?
When you learned to be a courtesan.
Oh boy.
Why are you laughing?
Because you are about to ask me of one of two things. Well, ask your question.
What do you think I'm going to ask?
Ask it.
How do you start?
How do you start with courtesan training? Or how do you start when it comes to seducing men?
See.
Well, Viviana will go and help Lucia up. I don't know that you need to worry about seducing Henri, to be frank. He is clearly already in love with you.
But every day that we are not together, that there is a chance that he meets another person who is prettier or more sane or less Vidachin.
He has had all the time in the world since the two of you were supposed to call off your engagement to meet much more sane women, and he has chosen to stay in contact with you. I don't think he would do that if his heart was so easily swayed.
See, but now this is harder.
I suppose.
I am just nervous. Well, Alonso is in love with, well, not love, but wants to see Sylvia, yes?
Yes.
And so Montagnian women are just allowed to have dalliances.
Well, it depends. Whether or not you can have a dalliance depends on whether or not you are married. The difference in power between you and the other person, even if it isn't dalliance, if they are particularly low station and you are high-born, it could cause issues.
Viviana, I have never had a dalliance.
That is unsurprising, given that you are a Strega.
Lucia, turns as red as she can get. What if I'm bad at it?
Well, to be frank, most people are bad at it when they start out. If you are going to engage in an act of passion with somebody that you care about, you should not, and somebody who cares deeply for you, it becomes less about impressing them and more about having fun. You simply ask them what feels nice. And then you do your best. Oh, and try to have fun. You try to have fun, loosen up, share a laugh or two. Really, it is not an act that should be taken terribly seriously, in my opinion.
When in all of the stories, they often end when they meet, or when they are finally together, or the story turns away before anything happens.
Yes, so you have never had instruction?
I understand what happens. I have never even kissed a person that wasn't for sorte.
Again, understandable. Are you seeking instruction or are you seeking advice?
I don't know. And Lucia sort of starts to get up. We will find Henri, and it won't be a problem until then. Unless I should be worried. Or be practicing?
Practicing with who?
Ugh. All right, not practicing.
Lucia, when it comes to kissing someone, it is... Again, to me it seems simple. Typically, when a man is involved, you let him lead. So, you do what he tells you, as is so common in Vodace and everywhere. Again, I do not think this is something you need to worry about. Where you truly need to worry about seducing a man is if he does not already love you. I think the two of you will I think when the two of you meet, you will have plenty of time to bumble around together and figure out what feels good.
Provided that Henri has not already had practice.
Even if he has had practice, again, I don't think it will matter so much if you ask him to teach you. If you want hands-on instruction, I can provide it, but I don't think it's necessary.
I don't think that is a thing that we can. Lucia EXE stopped working. No, I am just worried that we are going to see each other and he is going to find me lacking.
I do not think that is true. If you have been yourself in the letters that you two have exchanged, and he is already aware of how patently insane you are, then I do not think it is a case of whether or not he finds you to be the most physically attractive woman on the planet. He is already smitten with you. You will be beautiful to him.
We saw his home, and there are things about him I clearly do not know. And I cannot even read his letters.
Weren't you the one who insisted to me that regardless of what happened when you met Henri, everything would work out because you two loved each other?
See?
Now, I have my own opinions about that, but I am curious about what exactly has changed your opinion.
I think it has been the Knights of the Rose and Cross, specifically.
Why is that?
Why would he join an order that would not let him marry?
You do not know if he has joined the order. He could simply be working with them to accomplish his own goals. Maybe the reason why he hasn't joined the order is because he does want to marry you. Actually, speaking of marriage, aren't you engaged to someone else?
Yes.
And this someone else, correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't they a Villanova?
See?
Yes, there's quite a few complications on your side when it comes to you and Henri getting married.
I had sort of assumed that Henri would be here and we would marry as soon as I got to Charouz, and then there would be nothing that the Villanovas could do.
I mean, there is always something that the Villanovas can do. They could kill you for snubbing one of their own.
Yes, but I was prepared to...
Die?
No. Fight.
Fight the Villanova? I'm so sorry to fight the Villanova. I'm sorry. It's not funny. It's a tragic situation that you are in, but you were prepared to fight the Villanovas?
Well, I did not think that they would send anyone particularly dangerous.
They're the Villanovas.
What would they want with one barely competent Strega?
It may not even be a matter of wanting you so much as it is a matter of preserving their deadly reputation. If they let one Striga get out from under them, then suddenly people think that they can fight back against them.
What was I supposed to do instead?
Well, listen, I am not berating you for following love. It is just, when it comes to the topic of actually marrying Henri, when you are engaged to a Villanova, that is not something that is so easily solved.
Well, we've come this far. And Alonso is confident he can kill anything that comes after us, so we will just do that forever.
And Alonso is an idiota for thinking that.
He is, but better Alonso die than us.
Yeah, true.
My point being, we would suffer I do not think it would be as hard to fend off what might be the Villanova's arm if I had Henri with me anyway. We would have all of Montaigne between us. Eventually they would get tired.
The Villanovas don't get tired when it comes to exacting vengeance. Listen, this is perhaps enough for tonight. Let's just both try to get a good night's rest.
Yes,
Oh, would you like to see Sposa before you go to bed?
I would.
Viviana will go over to Sposa's cage, let her out, let her flit about the room.
Lucia will run to her room and grab her mandolin to, play with Sposa.
Sposa has a little bit of an attitude when you finally let her out because she's been locked up for days and only allowed out, for an hour or two a night. But when the mandolin comes out, she does take up going back and forth where Lucia will play a chord or a handful of notes, and Sposa will sing them back to her.
Viviana will make sure that she gets plenty of treats for this.
Viviana, I would like a resolve roll, target number 20.
Okay. Let's see.
Try.
No. Would you like to spend drama die?
I'll spend one drama die.
Okay.
What's this for?
All right.
I'll spend one more. In for a penny, in for a pound.
Sunk cost fallacy, go.
Sunk cost fallacy, let's go. I of course I get the number I needed.
Okay. You are able to simply enjoy half hour, 45 minutes where Lucia and Sposa are effectively playing. You chime in every once in a while by singing along, and the three of you are able to relax and head to bed.
Thank you for listening to Opus Dei Requiem. If you enjoy this story, please make sure to subscribe and review wherever you're listening to our podcast. You can find more of our actual plays on our website at www.hallowedhavenstudios.com. Please consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/hallowedhavenstudios. Your support helps make more stories like this possible.
It's morning at the Von Groth house. Heinrich, when you wake up, you're usually one of the first people, at least in your family, up. Because you like to get up and you like to go down and train before breakfast.
5 a.m.
I would like you to make me a wits and perception roll, please.
Okay.
Target number 15, standard.
Nope.
Okay. Would you like to spend a drama die?
No, I would not.
Alrighty. You leave your room. You are joined by Gunther, who follows you down into the courtyard where you have enough room to train. Is there anything in particular you would like to do, or anything you would like to talk to Gunther about specifically?
Not particularly, no. He just, gets his sword and goes out into the yard and starts his morning routine.
All right. Alonso,
Mm-hmm.
what time are you getting up? Are you up with the sun guy, or are you going to sleep in because this is like the nicest bed you've been in months?
He's been an up with the sun guy. I think he is debating changing that when he hears the clang and thud of sword practice outside, and is like, oh yeah, I was gonna do that too. So jumps up and starts getting dressed.
All right. A little while later, not terribly long, but a little while later, Alonso appears in the courtyard. Heinrich, your well-honed ice and sensibilities are like, the boy is late.
Well, these Castilian don't expect much discipline.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Good morning.
Morning. And he tosses Alonso a wooden sword.
Straight to it then?
Yep, absolutely.
I don't suppose you have any coffee.
Breakfast will be in a little while. My cook should be preparing it now.
Coffee after then. And Alonso assumes the pose.
So the way the courtyard's kind of laid out is there's like a sand pit that's maybe 15 feet across, and then kind of in a circle around it are, 12 kind of wooden training dummies.
Cool. Alonso squares off like he expects Heinrich to attack him. With a wooden sword.
Yeah, definitely not using the real sword for training, because, that would...
So it is about as big as the real sword.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they'll start to spar. I mean, Heinrich is not, trying to beat the hell out of him or anything, so he's going fairly slow.
All right. We're going to do this quick and dirty. We're not going to get into a full proper fight because that'll take forever. But I would like both of you to roll your finesse and attack skill. Or whatever Drexel uses. I forget what the name of the thing is for Drexel.
Well, I'd be using the lunge knack.
Right, that one. I was like, I know it has a special name, but I don't remember what it is. It's just a big sword.
Yeah, it's a really big sword.
Use big sword skill, please.
Okay.
You got a 23.
Okay.
And Alonso pulls a 25.
Heinrich and Alonso, the two of you square off, and it's pretty evenly matched for a while until, Alonso, you are paying attention to Heinrich's particular style, and you realize the thing that he has over you is reach, but that is also something that you can use against him. And you get up inside of his guard. You kind of, shift and dodge and take advantage of the fact that your particular fighting style is much faster than his, and use it to get inside of his reach, which makes it much harder for him to handle the sword well. And you can tell that there is a moment where Heinrich's training in Drexel has given him the instinct when somebody pulls something like this to get more hands-on and physical with them. And you can tell because at one point his hand almost goes to grab you and push you away. And he stops himself because he doesn't want to like genuinely hurt you. And that's when you bring like the wooden sword like up under his chin. Taking advantage of that just moment of I'm much bigger than him and I don't want to like bloody him when we have things to go do. Hesitation.
Oh yeah, the other significant thing that Alonso would notice about Heinrich's fighting style is he really doesn't defend like at all. It's just pure offense.
Mm-hmm. You got an arm on one side of your head, or you got a helmet, right?
Well, he wouldn't be wearing. Well, he wouldn't be wearing his armor normally during the just kind of friendly sparring match.
Okay. But he's just ignoring body blows because he knows he can take them in armor.
Pretty much, yeah. That's how he's used to fighting.
Cool. I think you would note that Alonso's style is very fast and mobile and a little dancey. There's definitely a cadence to his moves that a couple minutes in you're like, cool, he's probably going for a 3 combo now. And then he does.
So yeah, you give him a nice bruise on the chest.
Well, it's better than coffee to wake up in the morning.
And neither of you have to roll for this. You both hear clapping from nearby.
Who is that?
Turn around and see who it is.
It is your daughter, the elder daughter.
Good morning, Nicola.
Good morning, Father.
Good morning.
This is my friend Alonso. He will be staying here for a few days.
She immediately makes her way over and extends a hand, knuckles up.
He kisses it politely.
Nicola, it's nice to meet you.
Alonso Hernandez, a pleasure. Your father is a very good friend of mine.
Does that mean we'll be seeing more of you?
I glance at Heinrich. It seems likely. For a little while, at least.
Well, good. I look forward to it. Breakfast is ready if you would like to come in.
Yes, thank you.
Heinrich?
Mm-hmm.
I would like you to make a wits roll.
Okay, just regular old wits.
I don't think you have anything else that would help you with this.
Nope.
Heinrich is not a particularly deep dude. Yeah, so just regular old wits, target number 10, because I will give you I'll lower your difficulty because you're a dad.
Okay, exactly.
And you just barely make it. She has never come out to see you train in the morning. Not once.
Okay. He gives a modest glare, but doesn't really say anything. He's decided he's going to trust Alonso. So.
Yay!
That seems like a terrible choice, but okay, if you say so. You all are able to go inside and sit down and have your breakfast. During the breakfast, Nicola is a lot more chatty than usual. And she attempts to engage both of you in conversation, but Heinrich, it's not hard to tell that like her focus is Alonso. And she is engaging you in conversation because she doesn't want to be rude and also doesn't want it to be too obvious.
Yes, we've been up to all sorts of goings on. We found these strange letters and we've met some dangerous people, also some very nice ones. It's Charust is a strange and at least what is Iceland like?
Boring. Not as pretty as here. Lots of mud.
I have heard the mountains are quite beautiful.
I suppose. If you haven't seen them before, they might be beautiful when you see them for the first time. I have heard that Castile is beautiful and has very nice music.
This, I can confess, the music of my homeland is one of the things I miss most about it. And the sunrise over the sea.
And is the dancing really so passionate?
Well, you have seen an approximation in my technique outside.
Well, then it must be very spirited.
Certainly. Please pass the sausages.
She does so.
Drinks coffee. What was our business today again?
Yes, we should probably be leaving very soon. We need to meet the others at the university.
Indeed. It was an absolute pleasure to meet you.
And you. I hope we see you again soon.
Absolutely, yes. Good day.
As you are awkwardly trying to get away from the table before you get into trouble with the biggest man you've ever met, you hear like a clatter and then this yapping noise, and then the shout of a younger child, a younger girl, and are nearly taken off of your feet by a tiny puppy followed by a 7-year-old girl who is chasing said tiny puppy. And they nearly take your legs out from under you as she is chasing the puppy under the table. And there is a moment where the room erupts into chaos, and if you would like, you two are able to disappear, or are able to extract yourselves in the chaos.
Yep.
Yeah.
Head out the door and let the servant deal with the dog.
Heinrich, you could hear your eldest daughter yelling at your youngest daughter to get her mutt under control. Even as there continues to be sounds of chaos, there is the sound of plates and forks clattering, as it sounds like someone may have gotten a hold of the tablecloth and started to pull it off the table.
Quickly, this is going to go badly. And we go out to the carriage.
You're certain we should not lend a hand?
Very much so.
As you are slipping out of the door, Heinrich, the last thing you hear before you close it is, "Father, she ruined my dress!" from your eldest. And then the door is shut and you are free.
I deeply regret getting that dog.
Seems, how can a beast of that size cause that much damage?
It is a complete and utter mystery. It yaps, it chews on things, it defecates everywhere.
I see. The children like it, perhaps?
Yes. I promised her a dog after our journey here.
The young one.
Yes. It makes her happy, so.
And the other, what is? Has she enjoyed Charus?
It seems so. It's very different from our homeland. It's much more frivolous here, but we're adjusting. This is, after all, where we will be living now.
Indeed, yes. Of course, you are soon to be married. and then a permanent resident.
Yes, well, that is my circumstances. So arranged marriages. I imagine you haven't had to worry about things like that, but yes, as a precondition of keeping my title when my lands passed to Montaigne after the war, I must marry a Montaigne noblewoman.
I see. That must be very strange.
Well, it is an uncomfortable circumstance, but there are many benefits to being noble born. I will likely never have to worry about starving or doing, toiling in a field, but in exchange, there are certain duties that come along with it, caring for and protecting my lessers, and marrying someone that I don't know.
Indeed. I don't know how to talk to that, I'm afraid.
There's no need.
You are right about Castile, though. It is not often that we arrange marriages. Occasionally, people are introduced for political purpose. But life in Castile, our people are so... When you meet a beautiful person at a party, and your parents give you a smile and a nod, and you begin to dance, it's not often that more arrangement is necessary.
How very, very different. In Ison, these things are usually arranged well in advance. My first marriage was very different, but that was in the midst of the war, and things were a bit looser back then.
May I ask, who was she? Or is she, I suppose?
She passed away about 4 years ago. We met while I was at the academy. It was the happiest time of my life, but the war happened, and it is what it is.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Now, I believe we have some people to pick up.
Indeed.
All right. You both return to Chateau du Châtelaine. But before that happens, we're going to rewind time a tiny bit and check in with Lucia and Viviana. Was there anything the two of you were planning to do in the morning?
The most odd, the biggest change in Lucia's behavior, in the morning, is that she does go to Viviana and ask for help with her hair and with her, makeup.
I think Viviana will smile at her, and she will oblige helping her. When it comes to trying to tame Lucia's hair, I think she says, well, there's no point in trying to force your hair to be something that it is not. Besides, a more untamed look suits you.
If that is your opinion, then I will take it.
Your hair is beautiful, Lucia.
Grazie. I think I would have liked if it were straighter. When we were traveling from Vodace, Giselle and Fritzi and I used to put lemon juice in it to try to make it lighter as well. It didn't take.
When I was younger, I would have done anything to be able to change some of my own features. I looked at the other girls around me, and I thought that no man would ever find me pretty. No,
Lucia gives her the hardest look, like, okay.
I didn't always.
Side eye.
I didn't always look like this. And, well, little girls can have silly opinions. I grew out of that when I grew older. But
Well,
so long as you aren't trying to change yourself because you hope it will be more to Henri's taste.
I do not think I need to change over much. I
Good.
am. Yeah, having been kind of called out, Lucia's like, I do not think I need to change over much. I'm just concerned.
Lucia, and Viviana does this as she's brushing her hair. If you were to change who you are to try to suit Henri, would you be happy?
I think I would be happy if I was with Henri.
Let me be honest with you, Lucia. Love is a wonderful thing, and true love is hard to come by, and I do believe that it is worth holding on to when you have the opportunity to do so. But, and she turns Lucia around and gives her like a very serious expression, you should never depend on a man to make you happy. They will always disappoint you. And that is not because I think all men are bad or something of that. Like, anyone would disappoint you if you were depending on them to make you happy. You have to make yourself happy.
You can see Lucia, like, takes this in and thinks about it and, like, opens her mouth a couple times to argue with you, and then listen, not all changes are bad. She just goes, she kind of nods and doesn't say anything back.
I am happy to help you with your hair and with your makeup. But do not think that you need an extra flair just for Henri's sake. Do it because it is something that you want to do.
Echo.
It is around this time that there is a gentle knock at the door, and one of the servants informs you that your escorts have arrived.
Well, it is time that we got out of here.
Lucia grabs her folio. Like, at this point, I think there's got to be a little bag or something with the folio and stuff in it.
And the two of you slip outside. When this happens, Heinrich and maybe I will leave it up to the two of you. How whether or not you have the presence of mind to notice that Lucia has makeup on and her hair, while still curly and looking a little untamed, has been swept up in like into this pile of curls atop her head that is very similar to the fashions of right now, but a little bit more natural than like the wigs that a lot of people tend to wear.
Heinrich absolutely does not notice.
I kind of figured.
Alonso observes and narrows his eyes, assuming some deception.
Of course he does. So fucking typical. All right. You two are joined by the ladies, and I assume set off to the college to meet with the good Reverend Doctor, yes?
Yes.
All right, we will skip forward to that then, because there's nothing that's going to happen on the way, except maybe, stopping to pick up some sort of snack or whatever for everybody to have while they're eating, or while they're talking. Alexander, you have had a very simple breakfast, the same thing everybody else at the college has had. It's like oatmeal and bread with some like honey. And you have finished eating and are probably reading something as you usually are, or maybe looking over the star chart and things, when there is a knock at the door of your research room, and one of the other people at the college opens the door, and your companions file in.
Good morning.
And you?
Buongiorno.
Morning.
Good morning, Dottore.
So, are we prepared then?
As prepared as we can be.
See.
Le Rosencross, yes?
See.
GM, is there a roll we need to make to know where the chapter house is in Charus?
Probably. Well, I would say anyone with wits and street navigation or wits and gossip could make a roll. If you are going based on gossip, it's going to be a target number 15 because it's mostly just going to give you an address. Street navigation, you're looking at like a 20, because it'll give you like a precise location.
I'm rolling gossip. I will take a raise to try and get a precise location.
Viviana, what was that?
I rolled gossip, but did not take a raise.
Okay.
Should
We
have.
have. Nope.
Jesus, book.
2 tens.
2 tens.
Roll your 2 tens.
And another 10.
And your third 10. Jesus
Roll, knowledge monkey.
Why do you bother asking him to roll?
Because I have to ask the rest of you to roll, and it seems unfair to not make him roll, even though I know he's gonna pass.
That'd be a 56.
Yeah, no, I've got that. Okay. Alonso, you kind of have a vague idea of where it is, but it's not like a clear thing. You're like, I think it's in this part of the city. Alexander, on the other hand, despite having never been there, has been to Charus before and knows exactly where it is. The chapter house is at 42nd Street. Or on 42nd Street.
We are headed to 42nd Street.
Onward then. Alonso looks a little overwhelmed and a little excited.
Are you well, Alonso?
Yes, quite. Why?
I don't know, you have a look on your face.
It makes sense, given that the Knights of the Rose and Cross seem to be brazen, and he is given to bombacious actions.
Do you think they will invite you?
I would not presume. But I would not presume, I am yet to write my name upon the world.
Would you want to be invited?
He shrugs unconvincingly.
Lucia, in an attempt to turn over a leaf, just sniffs and like pulls her fan out to like cover her face.
Senor Hernandez is just sort of daring young man that many of the knights, at least in Avalon, would be very interested in testing his mettle to see if he could rise to the occasion.
Oh, that's actually. Kind of looks over at Heinrich. I actually feel pretty good about my skills today. Perhaps if such a test were to arise, I could perform adequately.
You set off across town. Takes about an hour and a half to get there. By the time you get there, it is settled into a pretty solidly middle-class neighborhood. And when you walk up on it, you realize that it is a kind of low-key building. It is not what anyone other than Alexander would have expected. It's pretty unassuming. There's nothing flashy about it. It looks like effectively like upper like a understated upper middle class like home that has been settled into the middle of this residential neighborhood and blends in kind of so seamlessly with everything around it that you could walk by it a million times and not know what it is.
And to be clear, this is not the address that we found in Henri's piano, right?
No. This is the chapter house.
Well?
No need for gilding when your reputation speaks for you, I suppose.
Or perhaps the person who... I would not actually... Never mind.
They, in fact, own... they have several chapter houses throughout Montaigne. Their largest is an estate donated to them by a noble. It's where they print their newsletter.
They have a newsletter?
Yes, it's called The Quill. Very good reading. And
Alonso goes inside.
Yeah.
Well, the door's locked. You can't just barge in.
It's locked.
Yes, it's not a public building. You'll need to knock first.
Alonso knocks.
You stand there and wait and listen for probably a good 15, 20 seconds before you hear anything on the other side of the door. And then after a moment, the door opens, and a man is standing there, with brown hair that's kind of been pulled back into a ponytail at the nape of his neck, and he is wearing a knight's tabard. Can I help you?
Hello, my name is Alonso Hernandez. Puts out a hand.
He takes it and shakes it. Can I help you, Mr. Hernandez?
My companions and I have some questions regarding a matter of some import. May we come in?
He kind of shifts for a moment and looks a little like he's not sure what's going on, just that there are at least 2 armed people at their door. But after a moment of kind of like giving you all an appraising look, he steps back and lets you in to a fairly Spartan decorated entryway that has chairs that have been kind of settled off on one side to form like a little, basically like a little like alcove where people could sit. And you can wait here. Who are you here to see?
I believe the chapter master, if he is available.
She is, yes.
She, yes, of course.
You will sit and I will see if she will see you. Can I have all of your names, please?
Francesca Lombardi.
Lord Heinrich von Groth.
Julieta La Traviata.
Then Dr. Alexander Hutcheson.
There is a moment of recognition on his face at Alexander's name. And then he nods for a moment. Very well. Stay here. And he will leave. Something that all of you will notice, no roll required, as he walks down the hallway, is that there are a number of doorways in this off this entryway and down the hall. All of them are closed. And you are left alone for several minutes. Is there anything you guys want to talk about?
Alonso will spend the next 20 years occasionally kicking himself for forgetting that the chapter master was a woman.
So are we are just going to ask about Henri then?
I think so, yes.
Indeed.
Echo.
I think the way we might present this, both to allow them their privacy and to fulfill our given responsibilities, is to try and arrange a way for Henri to present evidence that he is safe and not under duress, and probably that he does not intend necessarily to return to the place where his mother threw him in prison. If we can provide that evidence to Her Grace, that will fulfill the terms of our agreement, I believe. We were told to find him, so we shall. That doesn't mean we will return him. That is not what we were tasked to do.
A fine line, but a good one, yes.
A fine line that I wonder if Her Grace will appreciate.
If she does not, she should have been more clear in her direction.
I would like everybody to make me a wits roll, and if you have perception, in Heinrich's case, you can add your perception dice. No set target number.
Keen senses?
Keen senses applies.
12.
17.
6.
26.
And
hold on.
you have a 10.
Yep.
Jesus.
That's
35.
35. What happened to
Lucia
Lucia?
is on the ball.
Lucia has been given a goal.
He's listening and looking very intently for evidence Henri's in the building. So
1,000%. She's like, this is sparsely decorated. Okay.
They could have a library here.
They could have a library here.
Alexander and Lucia, you hear faintly in the distance a howl, but not like one that you've heard from any animal you've ever encountered or read about. It is almost unearthly, a howl.
Alexander turns slowly, looking around, trying to determine like at least what direction that came from.
Deeper in the building is all you can tell.
I Oh, no.
Lucia, you specifically hear the sound of something hard raking and clattering against metal at the same time the howl is happening. Like when you were in the prison and you were in the jail and you would walk back and forth along the barred wall and you would drag your hands and they would make that tunk 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 tunk. It's like that, but like somebody is using something hard to do that.
They have the Torre?
What in the name of Saint Victor was that?
What do they keep prisons here?
I don't
I'm
know.
sorry.
No one knows what goes on behind those doors. But
Oh no. How long have we been left alone?
About 5 minutes.
And no one is here.
Nope. Not in the room with you.
I'm trying to turn over a new leaf, it's fine. I think everyone in the room can see Lucia, like, eyeing the hall.
Alonso's still admonishing himself for forgetting the gender of the... Yeah, so...
Hey, Lucia.
Yes,
Do you want a drama die?
I do.
Take a drama die. I'm activating your hubris.
All right, here's the thing. Mom and Dad are still here with us. So would I be able to do this stealthily?
No, you are in a room where there is nowhere for you to hide. If you're gonna do this, you have to do it, and they're gonna see you.
You know what? Fine. I'm going to edge over to the hall and see if I can get closer to, like, I assume that's where the sound came from.
It's coming from deeper in the building. You can't tell from where exactly. Especially with all the doors shut. It's weird acoustics in here.
I am going to start edging towards the hall to listen to the doors.
Where are you going?
Where are you going?
And Lucia holds her finger up like, shh. There's something weird here.
I'm sure there are many weird things here.
How weird.
Like, monstrous weird.
And you want to go charging towards it, I assume?
Do you see me charging?
Someone could be in trouble.
Someone could be in trouble.
You want to be kicked out of this chapter house?
I think I heard the same sound that you did. That was not someone.
Something is here.
Alonso starts to move down the hall.
Where are you going?
What hall? All the doors are closed.
Yeah, there is an entryway with some doors leading off of it, but there is also a hallway that extends down it, that also has doors that are all closed.
Can I just listen at one of the doors?
Sure. You don't
Alonso,
hear anything.
where are you going?
He kind of turns. You said there was something strange.
I have to use the privy, and Lucia's going to start heading further down.
For Theo's sake.
I have to protect her? Alonso follows Lucia.
Alexander does sort of the fish mouth for a second, just open, close, open, close.
What are Viviana and Heinrich doing?
Viviana looks at Heinrich, gives him like a very weary look. So, are we going to follow them or wait for them to get kicked out?
Can we tie them down and sit on them?
Honestly, I think that may be our best option. Let's go
Two of you
keep
come
them.
back here this moment.
Ooh. Alonso and Lucia, you both hear that?
Did you hear something, Alonso?
Have you gone mad?
I hear the Reverend Doctor being both extremely angry and probably correct.
Should we turn back?
Yes? I don't hear what you're talking about anyway. So,
There was a strange sound like a howling. Like they have something changed down here.
that is very odd.
Isn't it?
Yes. Perhaps we should ask them about it when they come to talk with us.
Both of you, get back here immediately.
I hold on. I would like Alexander to make a panache and oratory roll, and I will give you a free raise because you have gotten help from Heinrich and Viviana.
Already?
We're effectively going to see if you can like intimidate and shake the two of them out of the stupid behavior that they are embarking on.
And you treat our quest fever? Do you have
He's
the
a
right
doctor.
medicine? He is a doctor.
You're up against Lucia's hubris, so I'm gonna say you need a 20 to pull Alonso back because it doesn't take much. He's kind of half I want to go do the right thing, half I don't want to fuck this up. And you're gonna need a 30 to pull Lucia back from the brink.
Thank goodness he rolls like a god. Of course, there is only Theus.
Ooh.
No, I will. I'll leave that where it is.
Yeah, the dice have spoken. Let them fall where they may.
Y'all are making me uncomfortable. Like, I'm gonna have a complex.
Love you, buddy. Here's just enough rope.
You do have the option, if you decide that Lucia would listen and turn back, you do have the option to spend a drama die to ignore your hubris. That is always an option that you have, just as a reminder.
I have so many drama die. Clara really likes finding things out. This is gonna fuck us over though. Lucia, I think, does the dog thing where they like she's as far as she can go, like, and reasonably turn around and be like, and I got lost. And she kind of like leans further forward. And then grabs Alonso's arm and starts pulling him back towards the rest of the group and leans into him. Well, perhaps if they give you an invitation, we'll find out what that was.
I fought Heinrich this morning.
Sorry, what?
We were practicing.
What does this have to do with this?
Nothing. That wasn't the strangest thing to happen this morning. It's a strange day.
Do the two of you have any idea how much you just put us all at risk?
I am sorry, I don't know what came over me.
You never seem to know what comes over you. Perhaps we should find an exorcist.
I know exactly what came over me, and it is the result of a complicated vow I had taken. That said, I am sorry I did not pull her back sooner.
Had one of the knights come back in that moment, they would have been within their rights to throw us out, give us no information at all.
Yes, you are absolutely correct. Do you have any idea what it was you heard?
I described it. An unhuman howl, well, an animal howl, and the sound of rattling bars. I do not know what the Knights of the Rose and Cross do beyond the stories, but it does not seem like a thing that would be done. It does not seem like a thing that aligns with the stories. What if Henri is back there?
Well, certainly not something you'd find out if you were thrown out on your ear. But if your curiosity is more important to you than your fiancé, well, that's another matter, I suppose.
Oh.
And an animal like Howl certainly was not Henri.
It wasn't animal-like either, though.
Had you heard Henri shouting, "Please, please save me"? Perhaps going off would be justified, but this appears completely unrelated to our purpose here.
Unless the Knights of the Rose and Cross are doing something untoward here.
Could it have been Porte?
Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck! Lucia knows one word in Avalonian.
Be the one word you know.
Macaulay told it to me. Lucia starts...
Don't know what that means, but...
Lucia starts to edge towards the hall again.
I grab her arm.
Viviana grabs her by the shoulders, turns her around, and goes and forces her back into a chair.
I mean, could that noise have been Porte? We've seen one person use it before, but I don't recall there being a loud noise described.
I have never seen it, but I've heard it described.
A screeching hole in space. Yes?
Screaming, bleeding.
A few moments later, as you were talking about this, you hear footsteps coming down the hall. And when you look up, there is a tall woman, about 5'8", 5'9", seems to have a pretty athletic build. She is wearing men's breeches and the tabard of her station. Her blonde hair is like pulled back in a very strict braid. The thing that stands out to all of you is that she has scars on her right cheek that run from they actually run across the outside of her lips, like the outer corner of her lips, all the way up towards her temple. Seem to be healed. They're older, but they're certainly there and very, very predominant. If Alexander would like to make me a diagnosis roll, I could maybe give more information. Target number. We'll make it 20 because you're doing this at a distance, and it's not like you're sitting with her for any given time.
Right. Take a raise.
Okay. 30. Very good. The first thing your trained eye sees is that she's pale, yes, but not pale in the I don't get sleep way. She's pale in the kind of deeply unhealthy, probably, or not pale in the I don't get sunlight way, more pale in the I don't sleep and I'm pretty deeply unhealthy kind of way. You notice that she has dark circles under her eyes. And while she walks fairly confidently, there is something in the set of her jaw and her shoulders that show that it takes effort to look put together. And there's also a faint look of concern that most of you can make out. pretty easily when she realizes that she has got a group of random people in her chapter house. Good morning. I am Faith de Arendt, and this is my chapter house. What can I do for you?
Alonso Hernandez, an honor and a pleasure. He stands up, bows, and then goes to shake her hand.
She will shake his hand. She looks slightly taken aback by how abrupt and like kind of in your face about like your manner of speaking you are, but she shakes your hand. That's is a familiar name. Have we met before?
Perhaps. No, perhaps not. At any rate, my companions and I, we wished to discuss a certain matter. Forgive me, your order is well known, and Alonso looks at the others with a "please fucking help me" expression.
We are asking about someone who may have been associated with the order.
We do not make it a habit of about our members, but perhaps I can help you with something.
We are looking for Henri Rain. We have some evidence that perhaps he was associated with you all.
And what would lead you to believe that?
And Lucia will look to Alexander.
Question first. GM.
Yes?
Is this woman a hero, villain, or scoundrel?
Hero.
Can I see her arcana?
No. In fact, when you attempt to focus on her and look for threads tied to her, you get an almost blindingly brilliant light coming off of her and nothing else. It's almost painful to look at.
Lucia will actually like visibly kind of react to that. And she shakes her head. I have a great deal of questions now, but you do not know why you would answer ours, correct?
I do not. I couldn't even confirm whether or not this Henri Rain has anything to do with our organization. Until I know why you want to know and who you are. I recognize your name, and she nods at Alexander. I've read your book.
You flatter me, Mademoiselle Chevalier.
But I don't know the rest of you, or why I would be beholden to answer your questions.
Well, milady, first of all, let us assure you that this is purely a personal matter. This is not part of any political gamesmanship. Our companion has a personal relationship with young Henri and is trying to get in contact with him because he has been missing.
I see. And this personal relationship?
Well, I will let her explain that.
We are in love.
I see.
It is more than it is more than just fancy. And Lucia will pull her own signet ring out. I may have done you the disservice of introducing myself incorrectly. I am Lucia di Felici, and I have come from Fadace to find Henri. He had been thrown into the donjon for speaking of l'Empereur in secret. And
You will stop talking and follow me.
Echo.
Her tone shifts from tired and a little confused to one that is clearly accustomed to snapping orders when needed to. And that's the tone that she takes, like, immediately. And once everybody is up and clear that it is clear that you are going to follow her, will lead you down the hall. As you are walking, everybody will hear the sound of it is another inhuman, but clearly not animal, almost otherworldly, horrific screeching noise, followed by the sound of something like squishing, almost wet sounding, and like a heavy thud against metal.
Can I was initially fanboyed, but now this has happened. Can I do a cold read check on her to see what the hell is going on? Because this is...
I mean, a cold read won't tell you exactly what's happening. It'll just tell you how she reacts.
Right, yeah. She seems tired and kind of out of it. Is she okay?
Make me a cold read check. We're gonna go with a target number 20 to try and get a read on her. Raises might get you more.
I'll take a raise.
All right, so you're going for a 25?
Yep, probably gonna cost me some drama dice, but I want to know. 30.
Roll your 10 again.
39.
Okay. Well, you took one raise, so what you get is no, she is not okay. She tries to hide it, and because you're following her, you almost miss it because she's facing away from you. But there is a clear wince at the corner of her eyes when the sound happens. And her hands curl into fists at her sides, like in the folds of her tabard. And it's mostly the fact that you've been fanboying and following her really closely that allows you to see that even when they're balled into fists, they are shaking. And she takes you to a pair of a heavy single door. It's one of those tall kind of arched doors. And she unlocks it with a key from the key ring on her belt. And when she pushes it open, you realize that this thing is easily like 2 to 3 times as thick as what you would expect for even like fairly thick doors in a normal upscale house. And when she leads you inside, she leads you into a room, an office, what is clearly an office, and it is floor to ceiling bookcases. And every single bookcase is it's full almost to overflowing. Like somebody has stacked books up, or put books on the shelves and then stacked more books on top of them to fill in the space at the top before the next shelf.
This isn't the room in my vision, correct?
It is not. There is a large, heavy desk in the middle of the room that is clearly sees a lot of use. It's a little, it's obviously older. It's somebody clearly tries to take care of it, but it has seen a lot of wear and tear over the years. She shuts the door behind you, and as soon as the door is shut, the thing that you all realize is that you are in a space where it feels like you're not going to get nearly as much sound from outside the walls as you get from inside the walls. Does that make sense? Like you're not going to have a lot of sound passing in and out.
We are soundproofed.
Soundproof room.
Not fully soundproofed. It's not quite that good, but there is significant
Sound
baffling.
resistant.
It is sound resistant, and probably, and for those of you who are artists, who are musicians here, probably because of all the books. All right, have a seat. And she gestures. There's a couple of chairs that are facing her desk, but there's also like a couch along, or like a love seat nearby as well. And she moves to sit behind her desk.
Alexander will sit down. The last thing to tear away and focus are his eyes peeling away from the books.
There are books in every language you read and more.
Yeah. Alonso does not sit. He will stand unobtrusively, but with a clear view of both her and the door.
Okay.
Viviana will sit in one of the chairs that is in front of her desk.
And Heinrich will take the sofa.
Lucia will take the other chair.
All right. Tell me your story.
I left Vodace for Henri, and when I arrived here, he was missing, and I may have foolishly done as I am doing now and explained this to his mother. And she tasked us with finding him.
So you are working for his mother, who put him in prison, I assume?
Only to the extent that it finds Henri.
Explain.
Well, then she sort of nervously looks over at Alexander.
We have been charged to find Henri because the Duchess was unaware that Henri was not in his prison cell until young Lucia here came looking for him. So we have it is in our interest to do as she asks so that we do not end up in the dungeon. However, I don't believe any of us are particularly interested in sending the young man back to prison. And we have been told to find him, so that is what we are attempting to do. More than that is between a mother and her son with a relationship to repair.
She kind of sits back, so you are intending to live up to the nature of the agreement and not the spirit of it.
Well, we're certainly not going to kidnap the boy and drag him back against his will.
I just want to find the man I love.
Ada glances at all of you. How do I know that you are not lying to me? You have proof of any of this?
We do have some evidence of the relationship. Who has the letters?
Lucia has the letters and will hand them over.
Which letters?
God. Lucia has the letters between her and Henri. Actually, I think Lucia also has the
No,
roses.
So last I heard, Lucia has her letters. Alexander has Henri's letters. Or, you know what I mean. Lucia has
Yes.
the letters that Henri sent. Alexander has the letters that Lucia sent. Alonso has the coded letters.
Yes.
So
We'll
which
pass
one are
over-
we talking about is the question.
Pass over the letters from Henri and from Lucia.
Okay.
If I may, I would be happy if there is some information you can provide us to provide some assistance in trade. I am a medical professional. You are clearly under duress, Madame Chevalier.
And if I thought you could help me, I would accept such things, but you can't. It is not something medicine can cure.
Is the noise we heard, no?
That is a matter you should forget about when you leave here.
I do not forget so easily, especially when honor calls me to aid those who so willingly aid others. If there is a service I can provide, or I do not wish to speak for the group, I think I must.
She looks you over. You are a swordsman, yes?
Indeed, yes.
If a swordsman could help with this, don't you think that having an entire chapter house of knights at my disposal, it would have been taken care of by now? I appreciate your offers, I do. But this is not something that you all could help, and it's not something I would allow you to try to help. I've lost too many people trying to fix it already.
You have not.
Surely there
What
is some
make-
arrangement.
What makes you think that this Henri is tied to the Knights of the Rose and Cross?
Mostly his choices in decorating.
The cell he was pulled from had a symbol of the knights in it, and a multitudinous hidden rooms, or hidden compartments.
And the decor of his apartments was very referential. Also, I suspect this may be connected, and I produced the dagger.
She reaches out for the dagger.
Hand it over.
She takes a moment to turn it in her hands. I see. I know whose this belongs to, but I cannot tell you. For their sake. I don't know how you found it. And if you found it in the donjon in the cell of someone who escaped, that is... Let us just say that they're a good person who could not afford to get into trouble for something like this.
We are going to follow a lead or a suspicion.
What I can tell you is Henri Ra-Erain spent a single night here. And then was moved out of the city.
Where was he moved to?
She gives you kind of a hard look.
We do not need
Maybe-
specifics, nothing that would endanger your operation.
We understand the importance of secrecy in this matter. We just want some assurance that he is okay.
He is safe.
If the young lady were to write a letter to him, would you be able to arrange to have it delivered to him?
I would, of course.
And if the young lady were to get a horse immediately upon leaving here, in which cardinal direction might she fly?
She kind of gives a little half smile, which makes the scars on her face crinkle a little weirdly. That is a funny thought.
It would be had you not seen it many times.
I have already left one country for this man.
I meant it is a funny thought that you thought that would work. Henri is safe. I can tell you that. I hesitate to give his exact location given she kind of gestures vaguely at all of you your association with his mother who put him in prison in the first place. It was not I imagine it was not a small amount of effort that got him out of that cell.
I had assumed that your organization were the ones that removed him from the cell. Is that incorrect?
There are a great number of people in our organization, Lord von Groth. I cannot speak for all of them.
And even if we guessed, you would not tell us if we knew.
Not unless you give me some reason to believe that none of this would blow back on the people who did the good deed of getting him out of a cell he didn't deserve to be in the first place.
And how might we convince you?
She kind of spreads her hands.
Short of that, would it be possible to get a letter from him for his mother stating that he is safe and has no intention of returning home at this time?
If he wishes to send such a thing. I
Indeed.
don't see why not. But he could have done that on his own already if that was his intention.
Well, if he is a man deserving of rescue, I will rely upon his honor that we are in somewhat dire straits so long as he remains simply missing. I feel I can trust in that.
Henri and my love was conducted through letters. I would at least beg that we could get one to him again.
As I said, I am willing to make sure that a letter that you leave gets to him. I can make no promises as to whether or not he will write one back to his mother. And I can attempt to get a letter to you from him if he sends one.
Then I will ask him myself.
Madame, I understand your hesitance to disclose more information, given the association that you know we have with his mother. However, she gestures at the entire group. We would have been looking for Henri regardless of whether or not we had stumbled into associating with his mother. Truly, the moment that she discovered he was missing, she almost had us all killed. In her fury, our association with her has been terse at best. We do not have reason to... If Henri is safe where he is, we do not have reason to immediately try to go and kidnap him away to his mother.
I don't think you do. You've said as much, that you have no intention of honoring the spirit of the original arrangement, but more the letter. And I can understand why. My concern is not that you will drag him back to his mother. My concern is that people who went to great lengths to break him out of the donjon will get implicated.
Well, if we knew more, we would know where to avoid. We would not like to accidentally reveal anything either.
You are not at risk of accidentally revealing things if you do not know them.
But if we go to the next our next suspect, what is to keep any of us from just reporting what we do know now?
She kind of lets out a slow breath and puts her elbows on her desk and looks at you Did you find anything else when you looked into his disappearance?
The bag of roses, blooded.
Bag of roses?
I think I still have it. And
You do.
Lucia will produce that as well.
She opens the little sachet and very carefully pours or shakes the rose petals free. I see.
If I were an organization intent on not making my associations clear, I might not use a flower that is associated with that organization.
Yes, this is not ours, I don't think. If it is not something we typically use. Might have personal meaning to someone.
There are
No.
great... Sorry.
Go on.
There are a great deal of loud sounds coming from your house.
Yes. And
Screaming.
I have said this is something you should forget about when you leave.
I only bring it up because it is known that Porte rips screaming, howling holes in space.
Believe me, if it was simply a sorcerer, or even a number of sorcerers causing that problem, this would be a much more easily dealt with problem.
I see.
The evidence we have now, including the roses, does point to the chapter house. And there is not... We are beholden to the Grande Dame to let her know what we know. And perhaps she will come to her own conclusions.
Her eyes narrow?
I just want to find Henri. I just want to be able to be with him. And you will not accept just that as enough.
What if... Forgive me, Madame. What if you had an agent of your own within this investigation?
She kind of sits back. Explain.
I shall, as you say, put my cards on the table. I'm a tremendous fan of the Knights, and I would consider it a great honor to submit my blade to a service officially. Yes, to officially join the Knights, if that should be.
I'm afraid, Senor Hernandez, that is not how this works. One must be invited.
I see. Thank you.
That said, prove yourself, and perhaps invitations will one day be extended.
Certainly.
You might start with teaching your companion that threatening people in their own abodes is perhaps not the wisest decision, and she looks back at Lucia.
You must forgive some of the foolhardiness of youth. She's traveled across half a continent looking for Henri.
This is not something that makes up for open threats.
Yes, I believe our companion was just about to apologize for her foolhardy behavior. Viviana gives Lucia the most bombastic Vodachan side-eye.
Forgive me, I was caught up in worry.
I think she understands that threatening somebody who has so far been extremely accommodating to us and provided us with more information than they needed to is not necessary.
That we ourselves cannot verify.
I do. A point has come to my attention as we talk on this. We investigated Henri's rooms and found a subtle sign indicating the knights. Your order. We investigated this cell and found it scratched, not overly hidden, as well as rose petals.
I cannot explain the rose petals. It is not, however, uncommon to find our sign in places where people feel hope is lost.
I see. So you do not suspect that someone has done this to implicate you?
No. I think it was a cry for help. Something to keep him going while he was moldering away in a cell.
Gracias. Thank you. Have we...
Is there anything else that I can help you with? Anything else that you found that I might be able to help you puzzle out?
I'll fucking just
Alonso
ask
will show her the coded letters.
She will look them over. I see. Where did you find these?
The possession of the young man. Well, his estate. And well hidden.
I see. Oh, they are clearly code. It would take time to sort them, figure out
Not one of yours, though.
what they are saying.
Yeah, thank you.
Have I seen anything like what I saw where she's just blinding when I tried to go through Sorte?
You don't have a cult, do you?
I don't think I could.
It is technically a knack, but it's an advanced knack, I think, under Scholar. Here's what I will tell you. There are stories about people whose arcana and threads no Strega can read. They are kind of terrifying to any to Strega in general. They're like a story that gets whispered about because nobody could figure it out. You've never personally run into one, but you have certainly heard the stories.
Fuck it, I've already threatened her once. Madame?
Yes?
Why can I not see your threads?
Because I have protection against such things.
I was not aware such a thing was possible.
I doubt that. Very much. I am well-traveled and well-educated. I know the stories that are told in Vodace.
And Madame, if I could trouble you for one more piece of information. Also, when we were examining Henri's chamber, we found 2 additional documents. One of them was an invitation to this chateau. However, when we spoke to the owner, she claimed that Henri had never been there and would never have been welcome. Does this perhaps mean anything to your organization? And I'll hand over the invitation.
She takes it and looks it over and gives a little shake of her head. No, but private parties are not uncommon in Charus.
And then also, hidden in the same location, we found a piece of paper with this address on it. We were planning on visiting the location later, but my suspicion was that it was a safe location he could go to if he needed assistance. But is this address in any way associated with the Knights?
She will take it and read it over again. Or read it over. I know what this location is, and it is not necessarily what I would call a safe location, but it is a place you could go for help. At one time. It is not in use anymore.
So just so we do not further intrude on your organization, this is owned by the Knights?
Not owned. It was briefly in use. But as I said, we're not using it now. We see fit to occasionally move such operations around the city for the sake of keeping them hidden. And with everything going on in the city, we see it more prudent than ever. But depending on when he first got this, it likely could have been in use at that time.
Well, thank you for that bit of information. As I said, we have no desire to further intrude into your operations beyond what is strictly necessary.
Was there anything else that I could help you with? I am happy to continue looking over these letters, but there's a lot here. It would take time.
I think we can... The coded ones?
Mm-hmm.
We are capable of deciphering them and would share the information if it is relevant.
Very well. She will hand them back. Was there anything else that you found that I might be able to help you with?
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for your cooperation.
Heinrich?
Storyteller, did she give the knife back, or is she keeping that?
Oh yeah, no, she gave it back.
Okay.
She said she knows who it belongs to. She'd like to return it to them, but if somebody wants to take it back, she'll hand it over.
Yeah, no, Heinrich will say. And regarding the knife, I don't believe we have any more use of it, if you would care to return it to its owner.
I will do so. Thank
Certainly.
you.
Yes.
Did you want to write your letter here so that I can see to it that it is delivered as immediately as possible?
Yes.
She will reach into one of the drawers attached to her desk and pull out paper and quill, or parchment and quill, and hand everything over. To Lucia, even though she knows you're a Strega.
Lucia looks actually really embarrassed before handing it over to Alexander.
Alexander will quietly take it.
Will you excuse us?
Of course. She will take a couple of things off of her desk, tuck them into one of the drawers, and lock it. And then we'll we'll get up and leave the room. Shut the door behind her.
This was Not what I expected.
Yes, this was far more productive than I anticipated it would be.
She knows where Henri is and she just won't tell us.
Of course. But you can understand her hesitation.
Signorina, do you want some more privacy for this letter?
I don't know anymore.
Alonso will also step out.
Yes, if we can certainly step out and allow you two to complete this in private.
When you step out into the hall, Faith is standing there. She looks a little surprised when people file out. Is Viviana also joining them?
Viviana looks to Lucia. Do you want me to leave as well?
If you would like.
I will take that as an invitation to stay here.
Okay. So Heinrich and Alonso step out into the hallway. Faith looks a little surprised.
We don't need to hear the young lady scribe her love letter.
I understand. And she will stand and wait.
As he leans and waits for the letter to be written, I think just contemplating, Alonso takes the amulet out and rubs it for luck.
She'll kind of glance at you when you do it, but doesn't say anything.
Cool.
Back in the office.
Should we have shown her Alonso's amulet?
Well, no, I don't know that it's related to Henri.
I did not think so either.
I do not think there's any reason to involve her in that.
Perhaps not. She is impossible to see with Sorte.
Really?
Blinding.
Fascinating.
You can see, Lucia's looking like she's going to start crying. She's, frustrated crying.
Right. You have a letter to dictate.
I don't even know what to say.
You can tell him how you feel if you're frustrated. After all, you're always the one who has to come to him.
How do we know he was not coming to me? And she wipes her eyes on her sleeve for a second.
Viviana will pull out a handkerchief, go over to Lucia, and offer it to her. I know that it's frustrating to be away from the one that you love.
Dottore.
Yes, signorina.
Just tell him I am alive and in Charuz, but not for long.
Would you like for him to write you back?
And yes, to please write back and assure his mother that he is alive and well, but will not be returning. Or whatever his wishes are.
We do not know what that is.
That is between him and his mother. You can apologize for me not letting him know I was on my way. I could not help that. But I cannot tell him where we are headed next. We have to kidnap an empress. There are not many places after that we can go. Certainly not Montaigne.
To be fair, we don't know where we're headed next, so it's not a lie.
Maybe don't mention that bit out just anyway.
No, of course.
Let me draft something for you, and I'll read it when you're done. When I'm done, see if it meets your approval.
Let go.
All right, and I think that that's where we're going to call it for the night. Thank you for listening to Opus de Requiem, a 7th C First Edition actual play by Hollowhaven Studios. Storytelling for this actual play is provided by Bloodied Porcelain. Alexander Hutcheson is played by Bookkeeper. Lucia De Felici is played by Clara Allison. Heinrich von Groth is played by Typhoon. Alonso Hernandez is played by Overthinker. Viviana Lucani is played by Glamour. Our intro music is by Sémø. Our art is by Daryl Arazak, who can be found at artstation.com/Daryl Arazak. Our editing is by Virens.